So hello traders, thank you very much for participating in this webinar. In this webinar, we are going to see how we are going to trade long-term options, what are the options available when it comes to long-term option, how you can deploy a long-term option, what strategies you can deploy in a long-term option, or how we can manage a long-term option, what are the margin requirements for a long-term option, or say liquidity, how is the liquidity going to be, and even what adjustments we can do to long-term options. Plus we will also see a live example when it comes to trading a long-term options, right? So if you can remember, or if you can see that most of the retail people are into short-term option, or let us say they are into weekly options, monthly options, or even options which expire 1 month or 2 months. They are not interested in long-term option. That is the general attitude of a retailer. Now smart money always goes for long-term options. If you can Google it and see, Warren Buffett, he is the chief executive of Berkshire Hathaway. So Warren Buffett is one of the biggest option seller in the whole universe. So every year AMG, if you see the Berkshire Hathaway AMG meeting, so they release a press release, they release a balance sheet of Berkshire Hathaway, and if you can see, Warren Buffett has sold more put options than anyone in this world. He sells leap options. So what are leaps? Long-term equity anticipated securities. This is called leaps. So leaps means any option which has expiry of more than 1 year, 3 years, 5 years. Any option which has an expiry of more than 1 year is called leaps. So unfortunately, if you see, India doesn't have leaps. We have leaps. Like we have option which expires in 2025, which is 3 years down the line. But your broker might not allow you to sell these kind of ultra long-term option, or they might not allow you to sell leaps. So that is a different thing. Anyway, we will see what is available to us. That is the objective of this webinar. What is available to us, what kind of options we can sell, and how we can make money out of these kind of options, right? So what are long-term options? So if you see, long-term options, as I told you, is a long-term equity anticipated securities or leaps. Now what is the difference between weekly option, monthly option, and leaps, okay, or long-term option? They both are similar. They are having you cannot differentiate them when it comes to their formulation or anything else. Only difference between a short-term option and a long-term option is that long-term option has a very good expiry, which means it is having an expiry of more than 1 year or 2 years. That's why it is called leaps, right? So as I told you, advanced market like US, Japan have leaps, but India doesn't have leaps. So maybe if you see the NSE website, they don't have they don't have maybe liquidity. They will have options, but you might not find out liquidity. Now this is the NSE option chain, and if you can see here, I have selected 29th December, 28th December 2023 is also there. But you see, the problem is we are not having liquidity here. So what is the disadvantage of not having liquidity? I will come back to that later, and we will see what is the issues when it comes to liquidity and how to make adjustment, that this and all. So you must have got the point that when it comes to long-term option in India, it is like maybe this year option, and this is the expiry of 29th December 2022. That is, we are in May. Maybe another 6 months we are having enough liquidity. This is the option chain of December 2022 expiry. So if you see here, we have around good liquidity, but when it comes to 23rd 2023 or 2024 or 2025, we will not have liquidity, plus your broker will not allow you to sell. Let us say, for example, Zerodha, India's biggest broker, they don't allow you to sell options which expire on 2023. Maybe they will allow you to sell 2022 December 2022 options, but 2023, 24, 25 they will not allow you to sell. And even there are some brokers, they don't even allow you to sell more options which expire more than 2 months. We are in May. Let us say, for example, Allies Blue, they don't allow to sell option which expire even on December 2022. At least Zerodha is allowing, but Allies Blue, they and all don't allow. So these are all the issues when it comes to selling options, long-term options. These are all the issues you will face in long-term options. Anyway, we will talk about that briefly. You don't have to worry. As I told you, we will also discuss live trades, how we can do live trades and all, right? And the next question is, what are the options available? As I told you, you can, for now, when it comes to Zerodha, maximum 9 months or 10 months options they will allow. And even if they allow, the thing is, you will need a liquidity, right? When you have liquidity, you don't have to worry. But if there is no liquidity, you will have issues. And your broker will also, in maximum cases, they will not allow. And liquidity, after liquidation, as I told you, only option below, which is below 9 months, can be traded when it comes to Zerodha. Most brokers don't allow to trade long-term options. Liquidity issue is there, as I told you. When it comes to liquidity issue, I will tell you one more example. So what is the thing is, you cannot place market orders when it comes to long-term option. Let us say, for example, you want to do a weekly option or monthly option. You can just you can just place a market order. You just press F1 or F2, and if you you select market order and day, then you will go through. You don't have any issues. You will not face any issues. Your order will go through. But when it comes to long-term option, you will only place limit orders. Okay, what is the limit order? Now let us say, if you want to place a market order, the system, your broker's RMS system will place the order at what the security prices are trading. Maybe let us say a call option is trading for 100 rupees. You want to sell those option or you want to buy those option. If you place a market order, maybe you will get it for 101 rupees or 102 rupees or 99 rupees or 98 rupees. So the difference, that is called slippages. We will talk about that later. Now when it comes to long-term option, let us say that same 100 rupees call option you are selling, you cannot place market order. You have to place limit order only. That means you will have to place maybe for 100 rupees, 101 rupees, 102 rupees or 105 rupees, 99 rupees, 97 rupees, 95 rupees. So like this you will have to place orders. This is the downside of a long-term option. These are called slippages. Even if you place a limit order, there is no guarantee you will get that rate. That order will be filled only when that rate is come. Maybe you have placed for 100 rupees, maybe you will get for 101 rupees, 102 rupees, something like that. So what does that mean? What does this mean is that the slippages might be on the higher side. You will not going to get the rate which you are anticipating or which you have estimated. You are not going to get those rate. So this is the problem of long-term option. And the second thing is, you might not be able to exit the trade immediately or enter the trade immediately. Let us say for weekly option, if the markets are falling drastically, like what has happened last week. Let us say market is falling around 400, 500 points. You are panicking. You want to exit the trade or do some adjustment. You can do in weekly option, and to some extent you can do it in monthly option also. But when it comes to long term option, you cannot do it immediately. You will have to place a limit order and you will have to wait for that price to be filled. So this is the difference between weekly option and monthly option. You will have to remember all these things when it comes to trading a long term option. Why am I saying all these things is because many people, retailer, they think they would have traded in weekly option or monthly option. Every order would have filled immediately, smoothly, no issues. And when it comes to long term option, you will face, when you move from short term options to long term options, you will face all these problems. That is the reason I am saying all these things. Okay, so the thing, one thing is, you are not why am I saying all this? You don't think I am talking negative. I am telling you, instead of first telling you the benefits of long term option, which I am going to tell you in the forthcoming slides. First I will tell you the disadvantages of long term option, then I will tell you what is the advantages of long term option. The first thing is, maybe only 9 months and below your broker is going to allow to trade in long term option. Second thing is, most broker don't allow to trade in long term option. So check with your broker if they are going to allow you to trade in long term option. Then the third thing is liquidity issue, which I told you just now. You cannot place market orders. You have to place only limit orders. And margin requirements are high. Why am I saying this? Because let us say you are doing a weekly option, right? When you do a weekly option, let us say you are doing a short straddle and collecting 100 rupees premium on both side, call side and put side. Okay, now when you collect call side, what is going to happen is span margin plus exposure margin minus your premium which you have collected. Let us say span margin plus exposure margin is around 1,20,000 rupees and premium you have collected is around 20,000 rupees. So the effective margin to deploy this strategy is just 1 lakh. Okay, but when it comes to long term option, you are not going to collect 100 rupees. You are going to collect maybe 1,000 rupees or 1,500 rupees or even 2,000 rupees. That I will come to you in the later part. That we will illustrate how much you are going to collect or what is going to be your margin in the later part. Now, as of now, since you are doing long term option, you are collecting more premium. So when you collect more premium, the margin your broker is going to charge you is also going to high. So let us say instead of collecting 100 rupees, you are collecting 500 rupees, okay, on call side and put side. So your effective margin is going to be less than what you are doing in weekly option or monthly option. Let us say instead of collecting 20,000 rupees, you are collecting 40,000 rupees. So your effective margin after your span margin, exposure margin minus the premium you have collected is going to be maybe 70,000 or 80,000, right? So when it comes to margin management in long term option, the span margin and exposure margin your broker is going to collect from you is going to be on the higher side. But at the same time, the premium you are collecting is also going to be on the higher side. So ultimately what is going to happen is, at the end of the day, when you see your contract note, your margins are going to be slightly lesser than doing a weekly option and monthly option. So I hope you understand this point, right? And the next point is high slippages. As I told you, options, long-term options are highly slippage, will be having high slippages because you cannot place market orders. You will have to place only limit orders. In fact, Zerodha doesn't even allow to place limit orders which for options which are having going far beyond maybe even 2 months. So that is the kind of restrictions we are having when it comes to long term options. But you don't have to worry, things are not like what we think. Long term options are really good place to make some money. You will be able to control the emotional, psychological, or this noises which are created by weekly option, monthly option. You will not find the noise which you are gamma effect in weekly option or some other things when it comes to monthly option. These noises can be avoided in long term option, and if you are patient enough, you can make good money. That's why I told example of Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett, how he sells leaps in he sells long put option in leaps, and he will always make money. His options are going to expire worthless, and this is how they make money. Now let us say you don't have any issues, you have checked with your broker, you are ready to spend slightly on margin, you don't have fund issues, your broker is allowing you to sell long term option. Now you want to trade a long term option. Now let us say an example here. I will show you an example here. Okay, now if you see this 17,000. okay, before that I will take you to this chart. Now if you see here, this is 21st of February, and if you see on 25th of February, Nifty was around 17,000. How much? Yeah, 17,000. Open was around 17,192. High was around 17,351. Low was around 17,000, and close was around 17,206. Let us assume you want to take a long term. You had taken a long term option December expiry on 25th of February. On that day, on February, let us say you have taken a short straddle. Okay. Now, if you had taken a short straddle, 17,000 short straddle on 25th of February, see how much the premiums are. On 25th of February, put option was trading at 828, and if you see on same day, the call option was trading at 1534. So the combined premium for both call option and put option on 21st of February is how much? Around 2,300 rupees. So market is at 17,000. You have collected a premium of 1,500 rupees on the call side, and you have collected a premium of 800 rupees on the put side. So total combined premium you have collected how much? 2,300 rupees. You have not collected 200 rupees or 500 rupees like what you did in weekly option and monthly option. You have collected a total premium of 2,300 rupees. Market is at 17,000. Now, since you have collected 2,300 rupees, what is going to be your break even? Your upper break even is going to be 19,300, and lower break even is going to be 14,700. You have a very, very wide break even, right? You have a very, very wide break even. You have collected 2,300 points. And one more thing I want to tell you is that whatever I am telling you in this webinar, you will not be able to backtest. You forget about backtesting. You cannot even track. That is the problem with long-term option, which I should have told in earlier slide, but I am saying you now. Let us say you are having a long-term option, you cannot track it in Sensible. If you want a long-term option to be tracked, there is no other way but just seeing the historical data. I don't think Opstra is also allowing to backtest or even track long-term option. Okay. Now, coming back to our point, on 21st of February, we have taken a long-term short straddle. Okay. 25th of February, March, April, May. 3 months has gone, okay? From February to now, around 3 months. Let us say 2.5 months, okay? Now, Had you done a short straddle, 17,000 short straddle on 25th of February, how much it is trading? It was trading at 828 rupees, and see how much it is now trading at. It is trading, let me get back. It is on 21st of February, 17,000 put option was trading at 828 rupees, and now how much it is trading? It is trading for 999 rupees. Okay, this is the put side. And look at the call side, how much it is trading. Call side on 21st of February, 17,000 call option was trading at around 1,534 rupees. Now it is trading at around 848 rupees. So how much you are gaining? On the put side you have lost 100 rupees. On the call side you have gained 600 rupees. So from February to now you have made 500 points, right? This is the advantages of going in long term option. Okay, sorry, I will tell you from again, right? I haven't changed the screen. So 25th on 21st of 20th of February, had you done a 17,000 straddle, the call option, 17,000 call option was trading at 1,534 rupees. Now it is trading at 848 rupees. So how much you are getting? You are getting a 800 points here. At the same time, if you see the put option, it was trading at around 828 rupees. Now it is trading at around 99 rupees. So net you would have made a profit of 500 rupees because of the call option. Call option you have bought for very 1,500. It is trading at around 800 rupees, and put option is you bought it for 828 rupees. Still it is trading at 900 rupees. So this is the benefit of long term option. You are having a wide break even. Your break even on the upper side is around 19,500. Lower break even is around 14,500. You are having a very wide break even, and you don't have to do anything at all. You just do a long term option and just sit on that, and automatically 90% of the time it will make money without adjustment. Now if you ask me, what about the swing highs and swing lows? Why you have to worry? On 21st of February you have collected 2,300 points. Your upper break even is around 19,300. Market highest point was 18,000, and on the downside your break even was around 14,700, or let us say 14,700, and market the lowest point was 15,681. Still you have a buffer of more than 1,000 points on the downside, and upper side also 1,000 points you have. This is the benefit of long term option. In between, from February to till now, market is swinging up and down here and there, but we haven't done any adjustment at all. Had you done a long term short straddle on February last week, you would have made good money by now. You would have made around 500 or 600 points, and you have to do the max. You calculate how much percent return on investment it is doing. This is the advantages of going in long term option, right? Anyway, first we told what are the issues when it comes to short term options, long term options. If you are not facing any issues like what we told, you can go for long term option. And I also showed you live examples, how much historical price, how much things have changed in spite of market moving, going to 18,500. Downside it has gone to 15,800. Still our Nifty is from 25th of February till now, it is just down by 500 or 600 points. And how much long term options have given you money. Now I hope you understand the power of long term options, right? And not only that, there are different things how when you should deploy a long term option. Like you can deploy a long term option when there is a binary event. So what are the binary events? Maybe the RBI governor, our friend RBI governor is coming out with some repo rate increase, interest rate increase, like what happened last week. Like that time, in those times you can do a sell a long term option. So why we have to do a long term option? Why we have to sell a long term option in the time of binary event? Because whenever there is a binary event, India VIX tends to move on the higher side. When India VIX moves on the higher side, you sell a short straddle, you sell a short strangle, ratio spread. Yes, all these strategies can be done on long term options. So when you do these kind of strategies on long term options, when there is a binary event, India VIX tend to be on the higher side. And once this binary event finishes, India VIX comes down, and immediately whatever strategies you have taken is going to be in profit. Okay. Now, apart from this, even though we are having a very big break even when it comes to long term options, still we are humans. We tend to emotionally get attached to market movements, right? What will happen if there is a black swan event, or if you want to how to hedge these strategies, long term short straddle strategies? We can do all these things, but of course I cannot tell you these things here. It is a very complex things which we offer in our paid courses, option master class courses. So we will have to we have explained these things, how to hedge, how to reduce your margin when it comes to long term option, which broker can you go for long term option, and other things we have told in those paid webinar premium content. So you will have to take a option selling master course for these things, because these are very, very complex things, and you don't expect me to say these things in this webinar, right? I hope you understand. Now, you have seen how we can deploy the strategies, how long-term options are benefiting you, how much they can benefit you, how much profit they can give you. Now, whatever example I showed you is just for a short straddle. Is short straddle only option? No, we can deploy many strategies. We can deploy short straddle, we can deploy short strangle, we can deploy ratio spread, you can deploy a naked call option, naked put option, of course with additional hedge, and you can do additional trades also dynamically, so that if your long-term option doesn't work, maybe some other additional trades or secondary trades will work in favor of you. So the risk reward ratio is in favor of you, and you can make good money even if the market makes through two-way, three-way move. Okay, so that is the advantages of long-term options. As I told you, short straddle is not the only solution. There are also strategies like you can deploy short strangle, ratio spread. You go and see yourself. I've showed you the example. You go to NSE option chain and you can check how you can make how would your short strangle, short straddle, had you gone for long term option, made good money, right? And next thing is can we do adjustment to this long term option? Yes, we can do adjustment to long term option. In fact, doing adjustment in long term option is very, very excellent when you compare it with weekly option or monthly option. Why? I will tell you. Because when it comes to weekly option, you will find it difficult to make this adjustment when the expiry is nearing. But when it comes to long-term options, you don't have to worry, because you are having a good premium. You can extend the range wherever you want. Like let us say you are having a short straddle in weekly option or short strangle in weekly option, you have collected a premium of total premium of 500 points. Your upper break even is 17,500, lower break even is 16,500, and market is at 17,000, right? When the expiry nears for a weekly option, you will find it hard to manage the weekly option because of low premium. But when it comes to long option, since you are having a time period and since you are collecting long high premiums, you can extend the range for maybe even 1000 points, 2000 points, or even 3000 points. Now if you see historically where market has moved more than 3000 or 4000 points in 1 year, apart from 2020, that is an exceptional year I am saying. Apart from that, if you see, we have plenty of opportunities where we can make adjustment to long-term option and extend our range really good, so that the time decay is working in favor of you. So as I told you, that is also a pretty advanced adjustment which we cannot mention it here. Short strangle also we can do adjustment, ratio spread adjustment also we can do, short straddle adjustment also we can do without using extra margin, and we can extend the range to whichever range you want. You tell me any number, I can extend the range of a short straddle or short strangle, and we will be in profit only, right? So to summarize the thing, you have seen what is short straddle, how we can deploy a we have defined what is long-term option, how we can deploy a long-term option, what are the pros and cons of long-term option, how you can trade a long-term option, which long-term option is ideal for you, when you can deploy a long-term option, what are the is your broker going to allow you to trade long-term option, what are the slippages, what are the margin issues you will have in long-term option. And we have also defined what are the strategies in long-term option, how you can deploy this strategy, when you can deploy this strategy, and also we have defined told about adjustment. Now we can talk about adjustment, and I also told about hedging, how we can hedge options. Now these are all the things, general things about long-term option and how we can do these things, but I haven't told you anything about adjustment or how to make adjustment or how to reduce your margin when it comes to long-term options, because these are all really complex adjustment which we cannot say in webinar. As I told you, you will have to take the master course if you want to trade in, know the adjustment or margin management in long-term options. And we also explained how much money we can make in long-term options, which are with a live example. And as I told you, you cannot backtest these strategies, or you cannot forget about backtesting, you cannot even track these strategies, because no platform is supporting long-term option. If in US and all, there are platforms like I think Robinhood, where they support long-term option. You can track live long-term option. Payoff graph is available for long-term option. But when it comes to India, there is no platform. Sensible doesn't support long-term option. Opstra, as far as I know, doesn't support long-term option. So these are all the issues you will find when it comes to long-term option. But I can tell you, believe me, long-term options, 95% of the time you will not require any adjustment, and it will work in your favor. Only thing is, you will have to control your emotions, and you will need to know how to make adjustment when it comes to long-term option, and how dynamically we can design our strategies to make extra income from long-term option. See, you are not going to deploy a long-term option, 1 lot, 2 lot, short straddle, and simply sit for 2 or 3 months, right? You have deployed a short straddle, you have deployed a short strangle or some other strategies, and you will have to work on other strategies. If you just believe in long term option and hope those long term options are going to give you money, your capital is idly sitting in your trading account. Why we have to allow that? We will optimally use those idle money for some other strategies to dynamically hedge your long term option so that you can earn extra money, right? So these are all the things which cannot be mentioned here, and that is why we are conducting a course. And these are all things which had to be done with a lot of efforts and dedication, right? So that's the reason I am saying we cannot say it here. So this is the overview of how long-term option works, how we can deploy long-term option, and so on and so forth. So in case if you have any doubts about this long-term option, please feel free to ask me. I am live in Zoom. You can ask whatever questions you want regarding the long-term option. Thank you. Take care. Bye.